basically our group has actually come out with two hypotheses here. Okay. The first hypothesis is in respect of the physical death of an Arahant, which is the parinibbana, and hypothesis 2 actually refers to the moment of the Arahantship, which is the parinibbana. So if you look at hypothesis 2, one would have actually experienced all the results of volitional karma the moment the person has actually attained Arahantship, which is parinibbana. We find that this hypothesis cannot hold because we have evidence from the suttas that Arahants still experience the painful and unpleasant feelings as a result of past kusala karma. Okay, so we can actually see from Samhita Nikaya 4.13 that the Blessed One's foot was actually cut by a splinter. So as a result, he actually experienced painful and unpleasant results. So from this, we will actually then find that it is not true that all the results of the past bad karma would have experienced the moment the person attained Arahantship.
Before he attains that. He has to be before he attains.
The moment he actually attains Arahantship, as in he has actually attained the Kilesa Parinibbana. So, because the premise of hypothesis 2 is that once the person has attained Arahantship and he has actually eradicated all the Kilesas, then all the past akusala karma, the results from the past akusala karma would have been experienced.
Okay, so your answer is hypothesis 1.
Answer would be hypothesis 1 because from hypothesis 2 we find that Arahants still experience the painful and unpleasant results. And then also we see from even Nikaya 16 that the Blessed One, after eating tuna, the smith food, which was actually I think salt and pork, painful affliction arose and actually followed by bloody dysentery. So again we find that hypothesis 2 cannot actually be true because the Arahants still experience the painful and unpleasant results from this past karma. So it cannot be the case that at the moment one has actually attained Arahantship by the eradication of Kilesas, that all the fruits from the past bad karma has been experienced.
Okay.
Then we also find from Paragata 16.8 that Angulimala also experienced similar painful and unpleasant results. And also we also see from the Moon Sutta that Venerable Sariputta actually experienced a headache from a yaka, and he was actually in a very deep
attainment.
Jhanic attainment.
He didn't say jhana, samapati only. Attain.
Samapati. Yeah, probably one of those arupa samapatis.
I don't think the sutta says it's arupa.
But
it's just one samapati and he didn't say what it is.
Yeah, correct. But it is more of the form, not the jhana attainment.
Don't know.
I don't know, we don't know.
Don't speculate.
Correct. But nonetheless, I think he still experienced a slight headache from that knock. So from this, we can see that hypothesis 2 cannot hold true. So our group then comes to the conclusion that we will have to refer to the physical death of Arahant, which is Parinibbana.
Okay, thank you for your comprehensive answer. Anyone else want to contribute? Any other group has a differing opinion? You're welcome to share.
We have a different conclusion in the sense that we think making to an end of suffering refers to Kilesa Parinibbana. Why? Why do we think so? It's because Arahants, when Arahants attained enlightenment, they've actually realized anatta. So though there is physical suffering, as what Group B has explained, those are physical sufferings. And from the statement in the sutta, there's no termination of volitional karma. Meaning the seed is still there, you still germinate, you still come to fruition one day. So Arahants will still experience the physical suffering, but there's no mental suffering. Why? Because they have attained a state of equanimity in the state of mind. That's why we think Arahantship or enlightenment is a state of mind. There is still physical suffering, but there's no more mental suffering. And there is no new karma being created after Arahantship. Yeah. So I think a very good story would be the story of Moggallana, because in his past life, having killed his parents, so he actually had to experience the result of his past bad karma. Yeah. So he was actually killed by a group of bandits, even though he tried to use his psychic powers to actually, out of compassion for the bandits, he hoped that these bandits do not have to kill him, but they were very persistent. So on the 7th attempt, he actually lost his psychic powers and he had to experience through the results of the fruits of his bad karma. But it is said that even though he had to experience a terrible death, his mind was actually free. His mind was liberated. So as a result, I believe we think that there is no more mental suffering. Though there is still physical pain, there's still physical suffering that arose from the result of past bad karma. So we also had a discussion whether our Arahants still have feelings. Meaning, if one who is enlightened, whether is that they always have only neutral feelings, no more pleasant feelings, no more unpleasant feelings. So I think this is the part where probably we would like to request one day for elaboration, whether Arahant actually experience feelings. But from the text, I think they still do because they have to experience all the pain and all that. But I think they have no more mental suffering. But whether that state of mind is it neutral or pleasant or unpleasant feelings still arise, but it's just that they no longer cling to it, no longer attached to it. So maybe one day can help us in this. Thank you.
Thank you for your equally comprehensive answer. Anyone else here want to say? Anyone want to share or give any comments? Yeah, please. But before you do that, let me comment on what you just said about the story of Moggallana. Some of the things that you said about the story about Moggallana is also new to me. In fact, in the Pali Suttas, nothing is mentioned about how he died. Some of the things you said are from the commentaries. I thought it was only 3 times, but you said 7 times, so I don't know. Oh, I said inside, right? Okay. But these are all the commentary stories. The stories given by Getikara just now by Group H are more authentic in the sense that they come from the suttas. Okay, yes, please.
Actually, our group have a different point of view, even within our group itself. So some of the group members, there is actual suffering here because of the question you asked. It's either this or that. So some of the members say that we have to choose either one. But most of the members feel that actually suffering here can be referring to mental and physical body. So some members feel that actually when they attain the Arahantship, the mental is already free of suffering. But the body still physically suffer because of the pain and still feeling. But the feeling, the book itself, we also have a lot of argument. So that's why we still have a lot of question whether the Arahant, of course, pain is a feeling. So some say this is not feeling. So we have a lot of discussion and disagreement within this part. And that's why the conclusion for the group actually we have 2 conclusions. One is that we have to choose the mental. One is attain Arahantship, no longer have suffering. We have the body, even though it suffers, but it isn't classified as suffering. But some of the members feel that actually 2 also will be part of the answer. So although the Arahant, after attaining the Arahantship, mentally is no suffer, but the body still suffer. That's our conclusion.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, our group view is that making an end of suffering refers to the moment of attainment of Arahantship. It's not the physical date of the Arahant. Our idea is that when you attain the Arahantship, you already have no great, no hatred, no delusion. Means no more new karma will be made. So it's the end of the suffering. Because you got no new karma, no rebirth, that is the end of suffering.
This is our group finding. When attainment of Arahantship The volition karma is in the mind, so there is a possibility to stop the potential of volition karmas done and accumulated from ripening. So an Arahant does not perform any more unwholesome volition karma and freedom from kilesa and is free from suffering. Haven't reached the no rebirth yet. Because when you have the kanda parinibbana, only no rebirth from the last part, the sound.
So after he has attained arahantship, no more suffering.
Kilesa parinibbana, there is no more any suffering.
How about the results of past karma?
The result of the past karma arises, then but he has the potential to stop it, for example, to abandon it, and he can maybe jump to any of the meditation absorption, for example, the physical suffering, then he can just go into the meditation absorption, so he won't get any mental suffering. Physical suffering, sorry.
What the Buddha meant was, there is no making an end of suffering as long as the bad karma has not been paid yet. Okay. So our conclusion is that this making an end of suffering refers to the physical death of an Arahant. Otherwise, now if it refers to kilesa parinibbana, meaning attainment of Arahant, Angulimala who killed 999 persons will have no chance to attain Arahantship. Because after he attained Arahantship, when he went for alms round, he was attacked by someone who threw a lump of clay and hit his body. Then another one threw a stick and hit his body. And another one, I cannot understand the word, but pot shirt, but there was pot.
Broken pots.
Sorry?
Broken pot.
Oh, broken pots. And the one threw a broken pot at him.
I don't understand the logic of what you wrote there. If it referred to kilesa parinibbana, then Angulimala will not attain to arahantship. What do you mean? Doesn't make sense to me.
Because here it says there will be no ending of suffering, so there will be no attainment of arahantship if one has not paid back all the
If kilesa parinibbana is already arahantship.
Yeah, that's why we say this making an end to suffering does not refer to kilesa parinibbana. That's why we come to the conclusion that it refers to kanda parinibbana.
Can you understand the logic? I can understand the logic.
Because if making an end to suffering refers to kilesa parinibbana, that means attainment of arahantship,
Then
then
he already attained one. Then why you say he will not attain to arahantship?
yes, he attained arahantship and yet he still got his bad karma to pay. That's why he was attacked by 3%,
So?
But here he say, I do not say that there is making an end of suffering. Meaning, I say that there is no making an end of suffering. That there is no attainment of arahantship. As long as one has not experienced the result of the volitional karma that has been done.
Anyway, thank you. Still cannot get your logic. But I know what you're trying to say. But the logic doesn't make sense.
Our answer for the ending of suffering referring to kanda parinibbana. Because an Arahant still experience physical and mental suffering. For example, when the Buddha got ill, okay, he experienced physical pain. If I'm not mistaken, Vedana, feelings, you have two types of feelings. I mean, you have physical feelings and also mental feelings. Okay. That means at the time, he still experienced the pain. Right. Physical and mental pain.
Why mental?
Because the Vedana is a mental. Vedana is still mental pain. But the only thing is when an Arahant experiences physical pain.
What is physical pain and what is mental pain?
As I said, it's referring to the Vedana, the feelings.
So when you say he experienced pain, physical pain, what is physical pain and what is mental pain?
What is physical pain and what is mental pain? The feelings, the painful feelings, the dukkha feelings, the physical pain. For example, when your hand gets cut, there is a physical pain. Also, the pain itself is also experienced by the mind. The only thing is because an Arahant have no kilesa, so when he experience pain, he will not attach to the pain, or he will not react with kilesa. There is no great hatred and delusion, but the pain is still painful.
No, the pain is physical pain.
Physical pain.
Mental pain refers to the mental reaction where you have anger, aversion.
You see, because we have different definition for mental pain. My understanding of mental pain, including the feelings, Vedana, the feeling, which have two levels, physical level and mental level. It's impossible because the pain is experiencing by the mind. If there is no mind, there is only body, like a dead body, there is no experiencing of the pain. So, to me, when there is a physical pain, the mental pain will be there. But the defilement is not reacting to it, is not attached to it. I mean, you are still experiencing pain. Can you follow me, Mantin? Because my understanding is when you experience physical pain, the pain is experiencing by the mind. If there is no mind, who is going to experience the pain? So I am particularly referring to the Vedana, physical and mental feelings. The only thing is when an Arahant experiencing pain, which to me is mental and physical, that is a dukkha, a feelings only. But he will not react with kilesa. There is no mental suffering, but there is a mental pain.
The word Vedana actually means feeling. Alright? Let's say your leg is very painful. Now when you look at it, how is it painful? Because it's hard and hot, like something piercing you. Now that is just physical matter. That is the body, right? The body consciousness, the kaya vijnana, arises together with the Vedana. So that Vedana is at that part where you feel the heart piercing, hot thing, right? Then if your mind reacts with aversion, pushing it away, that is a mental pain. The mental pain happens in the mano vijnana, together with mano vijnana, not together with kaya vijnana or body consciousness. So when we talk about physical pain, we are talking about the pain accompanying kaya vijnana. And mental pain is the domanassa or the unpleasant feeling in the mind.
One thing that is a mental state already, that is a sankara, the mental formation. Because you see the five aggregates, we define or we classify the Vedana in the nama, in the feelings, in the mind. So this is what I mean by mind or mental.
Okay, I know what I mean. Then you say physical pain again. What is physical pain?
Physical pain is the body, as you said, is a kaya vijnana that experiencing.
Oh, that is the unpleasant sensation.
Unpleasant
sensation. So we shouldn't mix the word sensation and feeling, because these are two different things.
It's unpleasant sensation, but can we say that it's also
It's a sensation that is accompanied by unpleasant feeling.
Yes.
Alright?
But the feeling is mind, experiencing by the mind.
In English, the word mind doesn't refer to the five senses. Right? The word mind refers to that is able to think, that is able to conceive. The body consciousness is not able to think or conceive. So in English, that is not called mind. In Pali, we say nama rupa. That is a commentarial term. The sutta also don't really say that there's nama rupa in that way. Okay, anyway, just to clarify, all people will get confused. So when he talks about physical feeling, he's talking about physical sensation, right? That physical sensation can be accompanied by unpleasant feeling, right? But an Arahant, although he experiences unpleasant feeling accompanying physical sensations, he does not have mental reactions to it that has mental unpleasantness in the mind.
Yes.
I know what he's trying to say, but the words he used can be confusing.
So that means our final answer is making an end of suffering means the conduct parinibbana.
We agree that it's both. Because the moment a person attains arahantship, he has no more mental suffering. I mean, he is able to handle all the physical suffering, bodily suffering. So from this point onwards, he is arahant. As long as he is arahant, he is able to handle all the physical suffering. Okay. Because he is well developed in the mind. So only at this point, when there's a kanda parinibbana, there's no more body. Only this point, there's no body, no mental suffering.
No mental, no physical, you mean?
Physical and no mental, because no more body. Okay. So throughout this life here, he's Arahant. Yeah. So as long as Arahant, he has no physical suffering.
No physical suffering.
There's physical suffering, no mental suffering. Sorry.
So what is the cause of the physical suffering?
Bad karma.
So that means he still
He still suffer.
he is still experiencing the.
Yes. As long as Arahant, he still suffer. He still suffer somewhere along this life.
Then how can you answer that making an end of suffering refers to both? Because the Buddha says you cannot make an end of suffering without having experienced the results of the karma that you have done in the past. So now he's still experiencing what?
Yeah, he's still experiencing. He's experiencing.
So that means you contradict your answer.
He's still experiencing all the bad karma, right? Because he's mentally well developed. All the physical suffering that he suffered along this life, he's able to handle it very well.
But the question is not whether he can handle or not cannot handle. The question is whether.
But I mean, he still face it.
Yeah. But that's not what the question is about. The question asks you whether making an end of suffering refers to skandha parinibbana or klesa parinibbana. Well, anyway, thank you.
But both also actually they have no more mental suffering.
We're not talking about just mental or physical, we're talking about both. So according to your answer, if you're talking about both, then it should be skandha parinibbana. Right? Because after klesa parinibbana, there's only physical suffering, there's no mental suffering. But still, there is physical suffering. So if you're talking about both types of suffering, then it must be the skandha parinibbana, not the klesa parinibbana. Okay, thank you.
So after this discussion, and then we came up with opinions that we gathered from our team members. Getting the end of suffering refers to the moments of attainment of arahantship. That means it's a status free from defilements, which are referred to great hatred and delusions. So basically from our discussion, facts or opinions gathered from the team members, we are all agreed that while arahantship is attained, that we are no longer subject to further sufferings such as rebirth. So there will be no rebirth to be taking place for an arahant.
Our opinion is it applies to both. Okay? End of suffering. Here we have to define what end of suffering means. One is end of mental suffering. The other one is where you end of both mental and physical suffering. When you attain arahantship, you actually make an end of mental suffering. Why? Because you eliminate your defilements, right? You have no more grasping of the five aggregates, which, as Buddha explained, is the five aggregates that results in suffering. You have no more making of new karma, and you have also eliminated the ego I. When there's no ego I, suffering and the I are disparate. Therefore, to an arahant, there is no more suffering. Upon physical death of an arahant, there is both an end of mental and physical suffering. So, upon the physical death of an arahant, whatever applies upon his attainment of arahantship, it also applies then, except there's no more rebirth, because he has attained parinibbana. So that's the view of mine.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah. Sure. My group is here, then we can, yeah.
You said that at the moment of attainment of arahantship, the arahant has already no mental suffering, correct?
Yes.
So physical suffering got or not?
Yes.
Still got lah.
Still got.
Until he passes away.
Because we took the story of Moggallana, who killed his parents in his past, but while he's still alive, before he achieved his parinibbana, he actually had to suffer. People were trying to kill him. At the end of the day, he had to suffer from a beating, and he was beaten to death. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Our understanding on arahantship is it is not the end of suffering. And the physical death of an arahant is also not the end of suffering.
Oh.
Because we think arahantship is a journey to enlightenment. So it's not the end of suffering or craving.
Okay, thank you. This one comes from Mahayana point of view, I think.
So actually, this is come from Brother Tom. Okay. I have to mention his name also. Okay, because it's a teamwork effort. So I have to mention their name. All right. So this is the diagram came from Brother Tom, meaning to say that karma, what goes around comes around. It will come to you. Okay. So it's like a boomerang. Okay. Creative, right? Our team. Okay, so after that, okay, there is a termination of volitional karma, okay, meaning to say that, okay, correct me if I'm wrong, meaning to say that karma will come to you. Is on what degree only, okay? Is it on the very heavy one or on the very light one? It depends on the karma. Because when you read at the preface of Bhante Agachita, karma is unthinkable. We don't know how heavy is it, right? So, and back to the question of the Arahantship, Arahant is definitely end of suffering. But on the physical suffering, they are not ending because our body still feel the sensation of pain. Just that when they reach the the Arahant level, there is none of self-view. Meaning to that body is body, eye is eye, hand is hand.
Pain is pain.
Pain is pain, yes. Thank you. We learn it through meditation, right? So the physical suffering is there. But the mental suffering definitely zero, no more already. And you are not going to seek a rebirth on other realms. You will go parinibbana.
So your answer is?
Answer is kilesas parinibbana. Meaning to say that mental defilement already eradicated and you are free from all the fetters. If you are
I thought you said you still got pain.
Pain is pain because you definitely feel the pain.
Pain
right?
is not suffering.
Pain is suffering.
Let me hit you on the head.
Sorry. Pain is still suffering. Still, but that suffering, body suffering is just a pain. It will go away lah. I would say, pain is pain lah. That only level that I can answer you about this.
Okay, thank you. Hey, you should come here. You cannot go. You go ahead.
Just to support him, what brother mean that although the physical damage still happen, but the mental does not arise the suffering. There's no mental suffering.
So when you say making an end of suffering, you're talking about making an end of mental suffering, not physical suffering.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes. This is our understanding.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's your view lah. Okay, good.
Our limited understanding.
Okay. Anyone else got any differing opinion? Please come and share.
This is Theravada view. Because our point is based on the sutta. It mentioned that the making of suffering cannot be complete unless this person experience it.
So
that's why he experience physically, but mentally there's no suffering arise.
So when does the end of suffering occur?
The mental suffering will occur when it achieves this arahantship.
You mean end of mental suffering?
Yeah.
Then? So what the question is not asking you about making an end of mental suffering, it's asking you about making an end of suffering. Not qualified by mental or physical.
Based on our discussion, we perceive that the physical is an episode happened to the body. Let's say someone slashed the Arahant, but in the mental, there's no suffering arise.
Okay.
That's why we denote there's not the mental suffering, but just a physical experience.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, for us, our group, we say that making an end of suffering refers to the physical death of an Arahant. Why? Because we say that someone, whatever he has done, he has to actually experience the result of what he has done before. So even he have achieved Arahant, he still had to go through. He has still had to go through the experience and experience whatever he has done before. Okay, and we have two examples here. One is that Angulimala, even though he has achieved the Arahant, right? But after that, actually, he experienced a lot of suffering also. He had been stoned by the villagers and all that. Because of what he has done before. He had killed many people. So that's one example. The second one is that even for Buddha himself, he also experienced suffering, even though he has attained.
Okay, here I see on your notes, you said, or you wrote, Angulimala became an Arahant, but still experienced difficult death due to his past bad karma. Where you get it from? Experienced difficult death. You are stoned. Okay, thank you.
Basically, we divided the sufferings into two types. One is the physical suffering and the mental suffering. So we believe that the physical suffering ends when we attain Khandha parinibbana. And mental suffering will end only when we attain Kilesa parinibbana. So we concluded that all sufferings would end only at Khandha parinibbana. So let's put it into an example. Let's say we attain Kilesa parinibbana, meaning you end all sufferings in the mind, but we still have bodily pain, restlessness, mostly restlessness. So chances are we are still...
Restlessness of mind or body?
Restlessness of the body, sorry. Restlessness of the body. Yeah, I forgot about that. So those are few examples of physical suffering, and therefore only when through Khandha parinibbana you would then end all bodily sufferings, and at the same time you already have achieved mental suffering. So awesome. Yeah. Thank you.
Very good.
The consensus in our group was that this refers to the physical death of an Arahant. An Arahant that is still alive is still subject to physical suffering, even though they have no mental suffering. So therefore, the end of suffering, of all suffering, can only happen not when the volitional intention is gone, when we become an Arahant, but at the death of an Arahant, when this will end both the physical and the mental suffering. So this is the interpretation from our group.
Okay, thank you. Short and sweet answer. Short and sweet.
Our group has a slightly different view of the question, in the sense that we believe that the end of suffering actually happens at the attainment of arahantship. Mainly because if we look back at the interpretation of the word dukkha, it's actually perception at mind level, and therefore when arahantship is attained and there is a cessation of defilements, the physical pain that comes after the attainment of suffering will still be negated by the cessation of mental suffering. Therefore, the end of suffering, in our view, happens at the point of attainment of arahantship.
Can I ask the question? How do you arrive at this definition that dukkha is perception at mind level?
I need to pass the mic to my...
In the definition of the dukkha, towards the last one, in short, the 5 clinging aggregates are dukkha. So if the 5 aggregates are no longer clung to, meaning the cessation of the attachment, then no more already. And then the clinging happens at the mind level.
Oh, I see. That's how you translate Panchupadana Khanda. Okay. He translated that as 5 clinging aggregates, is it? There's a problem. When you translate it as clinging aggregates, it means the aggregates are clinging. So you're right. If you translate it that way, I mean, your logic is correct. Because it's the clinging, right? Not the aggregates. Okay, anyway. Anyone else?
We have discussed that the end of suffering refer to the moment of attainment by the Arahant. That means attainment of Arahantship. We discussed that an Arahant who has realized the right wisdom and understood the 3 characteristics of nature, that is anicca, dukkha, and anatta, and no more ignorance, and this Arahant is no more affected by the 12 links, paticca samuppada. And he still, no doubt, he still experienced aging, sickness and death until his parinibbana. A very good example is our teacher, Lord Buddha. He was an Arahant, and on the full moon night of the Vesak, he has realized the truth, and mentally and physically, he has this cessation of mind and matter. So he is an Arahant. He is a Sammasambuddha on top of that. And definitely, whatever mental pain or physical pain, he can endure, and he understood rightly until he passed into parinibbana. So it's not until the physical body passed away only he realized the making an end of suffering. At the moment of his enlightenment, he is already making an end of suffering. Thank you.